What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be. Chilling with Mr. A&E, and also my co-host, not Deion Sanders for Prime Time.
What's up? What's up?
We are here to give you guys our late AEW Double or Nothing 2022 review. We was hoped to have this out before we did the midweek wrestling review, but we had already done. Everybody want to hear about the MJF pipe bomb, stuff like that. But we're going to give you our thoughts about AEW before it gets too late up in here, because we didn't get a chance to see it on Sunday. It's Memorial Day weekend, so this is not. They don't have a network, so you have to either buy it, go to Fight TV or something like that, or try to find highlights, whatever the case may be. So, one thing about this show, since AEW only produces 4 shows, like pay-per-views a year, this thing was long.
Mm-hmm.
It was long.
It didn't have to be.
What you say?
I said it didn't have to be.
It didn't have, but see, this is what I was talking about, because I remember me and Prime had the constant debate about the 2-night WrestleManias and stuff like that, and I feel as though that you can have it both ways, and what I mean both ways is you can have a 1-night show with, you don't have to have everybody on the card, and even I know Double or Nothing is like their SummerSlam, where all out's like their WrestleMania, or is it the other way around?
I think you're right.
Okay. And I was looking at some of these matches, and 3 of the matches were added on Rampage 48 hours before the show.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Why?
Because of Martha Hart.
Because of Martha Hart.
Yeah.
How did
I'm so serious. That's the reason.
Huh?
I'm so serious. That's the reason. That's the legit reason.
Can you please tell me how she has anything to do with that?
Because he wanted her speech to have as much time as possible, so he just bought the extra hour of pay-per-view. So after he bought the extra hour of pay-per-view, he was just like, well, I guess we're just going to use the hour. So then that's when he added 3 matches on Rampage.
That also, but I also know that he wanted to wait till after Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals to make sure that, it doesn't interfere in with his main event, which was a good main event. But anyway, and I don't mind Martha Hart speaking, but even still,
I guess he wanted to make sure she had all the time plus the matches that they had at that time already. So he just bought an extra hour just so she can just use it. And you can't just let the extra hour go. I would have just bought an extra 30 minutes myself, or
I don't think you need the extra hour, because there are 3 matches that was added, but there was one match I understood why it was there because of what happened after the match. But other than that, I'm saying looking like
I didn't need the Sammy match or the Kyle O'Reilly, and I didn't need that. But
Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin wasn't needed. It ended up being a decent match, but it wasn't needed. You know what really wasn't needed? The America's Top Team versus Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti.
Yeah, the Sammy match. Yeah, it wasn't needed at all.
Yeah, it wasn't needed at all. But honestly, Jay Cargill and Anna Jay wasn't needed on this show anyway. They had there for what was coming afterwards.
No, they didn't need that.
But I do agree with that. Honestly, that could have been on the Dynamite that we just reviewed. That could have been on Dynamite, and we could have had that whole, because they did the whole segment again.
I don't want to see this match any ever again.
Wait, can you speak up to your mic? I couldn't hear you.
I don't want to see this matchup ever again.
What are you talking about, Jay Cargill and Anna Jay?
Yes.
I don't like Anna Jay's your girl. Okay, I was never into Anna Jay like that. I was more the Ty Conti than I was Anna Jay. I was like, Anna Jay's just not it. But what I'm saying is, if they had took that match off and put it on Dynamite, like the Dynamite that we just saw, and had the whole thing happen
just don't have it ever again. Just don't have it to interact ever again. Ever.
Say what?
Don't have them to interact ever again, ever.
No, I know ever again. That's what I'm saying. But before they did, instead of having have it on Dynamite, so you can have the Athena and the Stokely Hathaway stuff on Dynamite, but that wasn't needed. But they
just wanted Jay to get a pay-per-view, win. So
yeah, but you could do that if you build it right. And I understand you want to put more women on the card, but there's certain things that just, it wasn't needed. And I think that also made the show suffer just a little bit when it came to how good it was. Like, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't one of AEW's best shows.
So we'll go through it.
Okay, but you know what? Well, they had the buy-in pre-show. The buy-in pre-show was Hook and Danhausen taking on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling in a tag team matchup. This was more just for the comedy of it all, where Hook is in there and he goes and gives all the offensive suplexes everybody and drops Mark Sterling on his head and all that stuff, and then Danhausen gets the pin. Tags himself in to get the pin over. What was it, Mark Sterling? Yeah. So this match was made mostly for comedy, which I figure it's gonna probably be in the first place. I mean, Hook is over. People are liking the Hook and Danhausen thing. Once again, it's probably going to have to be something that they're going to have to sell me on, because I am not used, like, certain characters, especially in wrestling, no matter where they come from, they got to grow on me as good characters. And Orange Cassidy, I did not understand Orange Cassidy, but he grew on. I'm the same way. I don't understand Danhausen, but he's very popular in the Indies. He's very popular here, so it's just like, sure. It's kind of like growing up. I was like, really, Gilbert? Because I was a huge Goldberg fan. And as I got older, I was able to appreciate it more. You know what I'm saying? Because it had to grow on me. But, like, how are you even feeling the Hook and Danhausen thing?
I just think Tony Khan knows what he's doing sometimes, because they are over as a group. So yeah, that's what you want as a company. You want people to be crazy over. So Tony knows what he's doing sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, we go to the start of the show where we get a singles match. We get Wardlow taking on MJF, and of course all the stuff that's going on with MJF over the weekend, and him no showing, a crowd signing, and then having that plane ticket out of Vegas to go back to Newark, New Jersey. Was he going to show? Was he going to do business the right way? And everybody was kind of worried because if he didn't, that would fuck up Wardlow, because this is the biggest match in this man's career. Especially how over he is and how perfectly booked the story was, and everybody wanted to see MJF get his ass kicked. Well, that's what happened here. MJF did show up, and after MJF tries to do a couple of attempts, like not getting in the ring, doing the heel, so try to use the diamond ring, it doesn't happen. Wardlow just takes him the Powerbomb Symphony and powerbombs this man first 5 times, goes for the pin with his foot, and takes his foot off, and then powerbombs him another 5 times. So a total of 10 powerbombs.
And them last 3, MJF was having none of them. He was like trying to land on his elbow.
Exactly. He was just like, "No, after I'm starting to feel this." But he took 10 powerbombs to start landing like how Cena would land. After a powerbomb, like every time if you watch Cena taking the Batista bomb, he put his arms back. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to land like right like a flat back type thing. So Wardlow obviously wins the matchup, and as he should have won. And I think it was the right move to squash MJF.
Now, the ending of the match, they was making it seem like MJF was probably going to be injured for a while, but no, he wasn't.
Which it throws me off also because he had he was in the stretcher, and then they couldn't put the breathing mask on right for some reason, and I thought they was going to like write him off TV, suspend him, I don't know what the case is going to be.
Then again, that's when I think like, oh, they probably just got the situation, whatever happened, solved, and now they just kind of playing into it.
Yeah, it's part because I'm saying, well, they didn't air the dirty laundry out on TV like other situations, but. So that's how they put what's going to happen.
JR.
Huh?
JR talking about MJF has failed millions of people around the world.
Yeah, JR not doing that.
We're disappointed in Mr. MJF here.
We're disappointed in Mr. Malcolm Freeman. Which sound like an old Southern black teacher's name. But next up we get the Hardys taking on the Young Bucks. Also Brandon Cutler. This match now we've seen Young Bucks matches obviously, and we already know what's going to happen here. The Hardys are a lot slower than they were years.
First of all, no. The Hardys are a lot slower. Yes, this match though should not have happened because Jeff Hardy is very beat up. I just thought he was beat up for a little bit. No, he's very beat up. Like he needs to take time off.
Oh, real? Okay, so here's the thing. See, Prime, I be trying to put the safety cushion down because every time I talk like this, you either, I don't know if you're trying to be a troll or you argue with me when I be telling you about the Hardys need to take a step back.
No, I know. I'm saying usually, like before, like say 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was all right. He was just, doing the hurt thing. But like this match, I was like, no, he's probably from the Derby one. He's very hurt.
He's very. There was a report that his boot was coming unlaced.
Yeah, it came off. It came off in it.
Yeah, after the match, it's hard to tie up those Hardy boots. So
because he tried to do the whisper in the wind without the boot, and then landed on nothing.
Yeah, that is I mean, so they tried. The Young Bucks tried what they could in the matchup. They had a couple of spots. They tried to do the usual Young Bucks stuff. Matt Hardy hits a side effect to, I think it was Nick Jackson on the apron, and they try to go to Hardy Boys move, but it doesn't work. But then Jeff has the steel steps set up, turn to the side. That's the AWA now. On the outside, it has Matt Jackson out there. There's a swanton bomb and Matt Jackson on the steel steps. Like, why even do that spot? You don't have to do that spot in a regular match.
Because it's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, but even
I literally think that's the reason.
No, it can't be the reason.
There's no logical reason. It's just because it's Jeff Hardy.
No, okay, I get because it's Jeff Hardy, but once again, if you have some restriction, if Tony Khan or whoever's producing the match tells you don't go do that shit, because Jeff Hardy has been in plenty of regular matches in this age that he has not done these unnecessary spots. Now, if he wants to get a little crazy in a match that warrants no disqualification, him and Shinsuke from SummerSlam, when he tried to do the swanton on the apron, yeah, it got that kind of crazy. But I'm saying to the point where that whole thing was unnecessary, especially when you know that y'all probably going to build up some more matches from this, and this is not going to be the only one. And I think
this is the only regular match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think the fans know that. I think honestly, this is not going to be a Usos New Day type thing where it's just like, oh my god, everything is damn near almost 5 stars because these teams work so well together. Because the Hardys not there no more. Matt got no knees, and Jeff is beat up.
Yeah. So the next match, I'm assuming is going to be like hardcore rules or something. Then the last match is going to be the cinematic match.
Yeah, it needs to be cinematic because I mean it's right now, but right now they need to really take a break. But the Hardys pick up the win here because obviously actually there's going to be more matches going on. Mm-hmm. Then the third matchup is Jade Cargill takes on Anna Jay for the TBS Championship. This match was terrible. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of Anna Jay. I've said this. I know me and Prime have argued about this before, but I'm just like, Anna Jay to me sucks. She sucks. I don't like her in the ring.
She was getting better, but then they stopped using her, so then I don't know. She just stopped practice. I don't understand what happened, but she was legit getting better. Her and Tay Conti and all them was teaming, and they was using her frequently. She was getting better, but then they stopped using her for like a few months, and then I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. She ain't practice. But once again, I have not watched because there could be people in there saying you got to watch Dark, you got to watch Elevation. I don't watch them shows.
I don't think she's been on Dark.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, that Dark Order shit is good. She started part of the Dark Order?
Think so. But I think they are, but they're missing members because some of them left.
It was terrible, and as this terrible match was going on, there is a commotion, and you see people looking up, and it distracts Anna Jay, and then all of a sudden Stokely Hathaway, formerly known as Malcolm Bivens in WWE, comes down to the ring in support of Jade Cargill. I enjoyed it because I was like, him with Jade Cargill is a match made in heaven when it comes to management. It's just the way
I'll be honest with you. The way that it happened, though, it made me not care about it at first because before that, Mark Sterling came out, and then John Silver came out of Dark Order, and then John Silver gave him a brainbuster, and then Stokely came out, and then so and so came out. I think Red Velvet and it was too many people coming out.
I would agree with you on that because yes, I failed to mention that Mark Sterling came out with a crutch, and then Anna Jay used the crutch against Jade, and with a Russian leg sweep to try to beat her. The way Excalibur tries to defend this is saying that, well, after Mark Sterling came in with the crutch and it backfired on Jay, she hired somebody else during the match. She hired Stokely Hathaway during the match to come out. Honestly, if you knew you had Stokely Hathaway and Athena, which we'll get to in a second, before Double or Nothing, I think that in at least the 2 weeks, y'all should have built up to this, because it would have made more sense if her and Mark Sterling had some tension. To the point where I hired somebody new.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of didn't make no sense because under Stokely, she's undefeated. I mean, under Sterling, she's undefeated.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, do I like Stokely because of who he is? Absolutely, but the reason for the change, or even if there is a change, I don't know if they're trying to do a faction where she has 2 managers. I'm not necessarily sure. But still, that's one of the things that was just thrown together where this could have actually been a solid storyline to the point where, maybe Mark Sterling couldn't manage the baddie section as well as Jay, and he feels though that they need a new manager to help bring them up to speed. Like, whatever the case may be, but them just walking out, it's just like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And then, so AJ's distracted, but then Jay...
Now... If they wanted to go in the direction of Mark, you're representing too many people, they could have did that, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't do it either. But AJ's distracted, and then Jay takes it on the top rope, and you can see that they're carefully planning to do the Jada from the top rope. Me personally, I think they should stop doing that in the first place because it takes too long for the setup, and it just looks weird. When they try to do
they're still kind of new to it, so they don't know how to do it just yet.
Exactly. I'm like, until she went, I think just keep the Jaded in the ring. You have to do it. You have to do the super Jaded. It's Anna Jay. No disrespect, but it's Anna Jay. Just do the Jaded and call it a day. So as they're doing that, the bag section down, the Chris Statlander comes down to stare down, and then who should have been in the finals, but I'll get to that later. Then all of a sudden, this woman comes down, and it's Athena. And she comes down, just taking in the crowd. The crowd is chanting for her and everything. And she get off and comes down, and they get off in Jay's face. And it's just Athena and Chris Statlander. And Angie just kind of like got back up, like not selling shit in the face of the whole bag section. And I think along with the new recruits of Stokely Hathaway and Athena, the way this played out was just poorly put together.
Yes, it sucked. I'm not sugarcoating it. Sucked, man.
It's there's only a sugarcoat. You're right. It actually.
No, because I'm saying like I like for Athena. I like she's in the company. I would have rather her just come down and do a move or do something. Hit her with the title, DDT, anything. It don't even got to be the Eclipse. It could be, a submission.
Honestly, her hitting Jay Cargill or her hitting anybody or anybody out of nowhere with the Eclipse. And like she had a hood on, and everybody was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then you see it's Athena. It's like that could even cause even more of a crazy pop.
Yeah, but I don't like just her coming out and just her. First of all, her coming out, okay, cool. If you gonna talk or whatever, cool. But her coming out to get face to face with Jade Cargill while she has Chris Statlander and Anna Jay on her side does no favors for her, in my opinion.
It doesn't.
Like why does she want to be with Chris Statlander and Anna Jay? Yeah, like if you Athena, you take all 3 of them on if you that confident, you go in all 3 of their faces while they're looking at you, and then maybe she beat up Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet, but
I mean,
that was a bad debut in my opinion because of how poorly it was done.
I agree. It could have been handled a lot more better because, like I said, I don't think this match should have been on the show in the first place. Next matchup, we have the House of Black taking on Death Triangle, which I think this was the first official great match of the night.
Okay.
I mean, were you not a fan of this one?
Oh no! I wasn't thinking about it as being the first great match. I was just watching it. So, but no, this was good. I mean, we already knew to expect craziness. I mean, House of Black and these crazy luchadors.
Especially with Ray Phoenix back in there, I thought it was good. Of course, the match breaks down a lot to go into it. The one thing I was just like, I don't like, and y'all know it's gonna sound like get off my lawn type thing, is if you're a big man and you
almost died.
and you cannot get the air that you need to get, stop doing dives. Stop doing the tope suicidas. Stop it. Okay, that right there bothers me. Because there was a point in the match, because we gotta have the dive spot, and everybody got to sit there and dive. And I'm like, oh my god! Because first of all, what happened was Ray Phoenix tries to dive to the outside, and Buddy Murphy tries to do the. I don't know if who started this. Was it Bobby Lashley that started this, or was it Brian Cage?
Bobby Lashley? What you mean?
I'm talking about when they would dive through the ropes and he would catch him in a suplex.
It definitely wasn't Bobby Lashley.
I thought he was doing that in Impact.
No, he was not.
Okay, my bad. So I said,
no, what I'm saying, I'm like, Bobby Lashley didn't do. Bobby Lashley was good in Impact. He wasn't doing that. So it's probably Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, okay.
Brian Cage always fights people that's 2 times smaller than him, so it's got to be Brian Cage.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that Bobby Lashley can't do that.
Oh no, he can definitely do it.
He could do it. I'm saying, but I so I remember him from Impact doing it, or definitely Brian Cage doing it. But Phoenix tries to dive out to Buddy Matthews, which, by the way, they're actually all matching in the House of Black attire. I thought that was dope. Because you know how all teams are match. I know he's going to just come out there looking like Buddy Murphy. And he tries to catch Ray Phoenix in the suplex, but then it obviously he botches it and it doesn't work. Then he suplex Ray Phoenix. Then after that, Pac comes out and does his little Tour the World outside on Buddy Matthews. And then there comes the moonsault out by Malachi Black that he usually does to the outside also. And then here comes Pentagon and he jumps and he flips over. And then it's just like Brody King's just like, well, hey, I want to flip too. Why? And he does the same. I believe this was the move that got Keith Lee like that on the downhill in WWE, where he goes and leaps and he gets no air at all. He tumbles over the ropes, his head hits the back of the apron. It looks terrible. And I'm like, why did Brody King have to do that? And everybody does not have to do a fucking dive.
No, he didn't. But I mean, look, he did it and fell on his head, so I'm gonna just say that's what he gets.
Well, like I said, there's more outrageousness that they gave like a Rikishi driver to the Phoenix, and then they have somebody branch on the outside like a DDT form from the apron to the outside. I think it's Buddy Matthews, and Phoenix does a double foot stomp and they do a DDT to the outside. This shit is crazy, and it's so much shit going on. Finally, the finish comes. Pac is about to go for the Black Arrow, but then who's homegirl?
Julia Hart.
Yeah, that comes in the ring, sprays the mist in his face, and then he gets the Black Mask or whatever he calls that move now. And now Julia Hart is part of the House of Black, and they win the matchup. Here's the thing. I understand because there is comparisons to Judgment Day in WWE, obviously, and obviously House of Black was first before Judgment Day even happened. But I'm not too familiar with Julia Hart and her work, if it's good or not. Is it?
Do you not know who Julia Hart is?
No.
Are you serious?
Please help me out here. She related to the Harts?
Oh my god. Are you serious right now? Are you playing?
I'm not. I'm not a troll.
Julia Hart has been on every single show for like 5 months.
Okay.
Julia Hart has. Oh my. Okay. Yes. Julia Hart. I don't know. She has to improve on her wrestling skills, but she's now with House of Black.
It's like honestly, I have not paid attention to Julia Hart. I really haven't. I'm not sitting here trying to troll anybody. Because look, if I'm ignorant about something,
No. I thought you would know because she's been on the show every week. Not on Rampage. She's been on Dynamite every week. That's why I thought. I was like, oh, you trolling? Okay, got you.
no, I honestly no, because sometimes the Dynamite. Sometimes I go back and catch the highlights, or I catch it on YouTube, or I catch it whenever I can watch it that way. If I do watch it fully, and sometimes I got to come back home from work when I get off. So if I miss it, like sometimes I really just don't pay attention to her being out there, being an essential part of this thing. So
she has to probably improve in her in-ring skill, but I don't think they're going to be using her as a wrestler, just as a character type of thing. But yeah, Julia Hart. She said, "Forget Griff Garrison and forget Brian Pillman Jr. I'm joining this."
Oh, that's who she was with. That's why. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. House of Black versus Judgment Day. That's what we having right now. So yeah, like I said, it was a decent match. A lot of people didn't like the finish, but I still thought it was a crazy ass match. Now we get the first of two Owen Hart Foundation tournament finals. The first one we get is Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe, which I'm having to say this right now. Probably could be an unpopular opinion, but I don't care. That it disappointed. This match is not what I know Adam Cole and Samoa Joe can do. But once again, not even just that, it didn't feel like a big enough deal. And what I mean by that is, with it being Owen Hart, with him, they're bringing a name back in, and with them doing, and obviously they don't have no rights to do like a video package because WWE owns all that. Huh?
They did.
Oh, okay. I missed the video package. I'm sorry. Okay, but it just seemed like leading up to all this, it felt like a standard tournament, but it didn't feel like it didn't feel like I wanted to feel like remember how old school King of the Ring used to feel. I'm talking about like the 90s, where it's like you would go out and actually have like 15-minute matches and have like damn good matches.
No, I think this is the first I don't know how. I don't think they capitalized on it like how they should have. Obviously, like the first few matches of the tournament was cool, but then like the way that it was going, it went from being an Owen Hart, a Owen Hart honorary tournament to being like the Bret Hart tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's somewhere got lost in translation. I mean, Adam Cole was cool in his pink trunks, obviously. Him and Samoa Joe go out there and they do the usual stuff. He hits a super kick on the outside.
No, I think Samoa Joe. I don't know what happened in this match, but I think Samoa Joe they never fought each other ever. So it could just be like a timing thing. Could just be a issue, but the last 2 or 3 times Samoa Joe has faced somebody that he's never faced before, it hasn't been a good match.
Well, I think it's also chemistry. It could be a chemistry issue also, and then Joe, I don't think can reset fast enough because he's older and heavier than he used to be. Because Adam Cole was hitting all his stuff. He was working on the arm. Joe was working on his, working on his stuff. Gave him that, Uranagi, shut your ass up, suplex in the corner. Then Adam Cole comes back like the back of the head, strong clothesline. I mean, towards the end, they really start getting their moves in and start actually being kind of good. After like the power bomb into the STF by Samoa Joe, then he would start bringing the different submissions, like trying to work on the arm, and he goes in for the Coquina clutch to Adam Cole, but then all of a sudden, Red Dragon gets involved, and I'm just like, why? It didn't have to be that because y'all.
No, it wasn't Red Dragon. It was just Bobby Fish.
Oh, Bobby Fish, yeah.
We didn't need him out here in Owen Hart thing.
Like, I was like, just do it for the match. We don't have to do it for the angle because we just banned Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. So why not get, ban Red Dragon? But whatever. So that was that, and then so now he wins, and he gets the it's like the little trophy. He gets the men's belt. So they were giving away belts also, which the belt looks dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, I think it's a Stampede wrestling style belt.
Yeah. So the belt looks dope. Martha did, now correct me if I'm wrong. She did the speech after the women's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up is the women's All Heart Foundation final. Dr. Britt Baker taking DMD taking on Ruby Soho. Here goes another unpopular opinion, and I'm ready for it. I think the wrong participants were in this match.
What do you think should have been here?
I thought, honestly, just for this, I thought Chris Statlander should have been here.
Chris Statlander and who?
I don't. First of all, I think either Chris Statlander and Tony Storm, or I thought Chris Statlander. I wouldn't mind Chris Statlander and Ruby Soho. Britt Baker does. I'm more upset with Britt Baker. Britt Baker does not need this.
Well, okay. She don't need it, but look, it's Britt Baker. Like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that's the reason why. It's because it's Britt. Like, it's the first tournament, so they're gonna give it to her.
Okay, well, even if it's Britt, I'm just saying, but you can still have somebody else face Britt Baker and her put somebody over.
No, Britt. I'm telling you, this Britt is not for the first tournament. Adam Cole and Britt Baker are safe bets because Britt is technically a pillar of AEW, and Adam Cole is Adam Cole. So it's like that's just the way it is sometimes. Now the second Owen Hart tournament, whoever wins can win. But for the first, it would make sense that I would want my first Owen Hart Cup people to be on this cup is Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
But I get it's Britt Baker also, but you also got to understand something that we also have AEW Women's Originals that could have been on the same level of name as Britt Baker if they had been used. Britt Baker out of all the women got the most TV time, had a long championship reign, has the best storylines. So she's almost.
So wouldn't that make sense to her to be the first woman?
But I'm just at this time she don't need that on her belt. I'm just saying, but because it's right now, what other women are they pushing? We always talk about how AEW has that women's roster problem, right?
Yep.
We always talk about that. Well, this is part of the problem. We just send women up to get fed to the champion, and then they go back down the dark, and there's no story. Like, Jay in the baddies section is like one of the first side women storylines that we got in months, to the point where it's like Nyla Rose has never been heard of again. You know what I'm saying? Or obviously it was supposed to be Hikaru Shida in this matchup, but they fucked that up with the travel issues, and they had to make a bullshit excuse of why she wasn't there. And when the fans are gravitating towards a new star, whether it being Chris Statlander, that's fine. There's other women that could have been, especially Toni Storm coming up in there also. Now, obviously, we see Toni Storm and how she does have a decent resume of her own, even though she left WWE on kind of like bad terms. I mean, she does have a good resume of her own. It's just that seeing something different in this woman's story. Even if Britt Baker went to the finals, or even with her being winning, it's like this thing had no heat to it. It didn't. It felt not important at all. Even her versus Jamie Hayter in the final would have been dope. If they did something like that, so you can see, like, okay, now for the respect of Owen Hart, two best friends have to clash. Like, there's nothing that. In other words, in my personal opinion, they took the safest possible way with both these tournaments.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but even still, I don't know if they felt as though that how fans would respond to it. I really think the fans.
I just think it's an Owen Hart thing.
But even with the Owen Hart thing, I'm saying,
like, I think. Well, okay, sorry.
I'm just saying
what I mean by. Sorry, you go first.
All I'm saying is with the Owen Hart thing, AEW gravitates more towards our fan base than WWE does. So we understand immensely what Owen Hart means to us in the wrestling business. So, I think you could have did better of trying to take a little bit of a chance of that. That's all I was saying.
No, I don't think this is. I don't think this Owen Hart thing is like how Andre the Giant was. I don't think it's to push new talent. I just think that they want the first. Basically, what they want to do is have the first winner so that they can brag for years to come. Basically, like, we had many people win this thing, such as Owen Hart. I mean, such as Adam Cole and Britt Baker are the first winners. Can whoever else win this thing be on their level? Basically.
Okay. Well,
So like
the match was all right.
but they did play it. They played it very safe.
Yeah. The match was all right, but there was no way Ruby was going to win the matchup. And of course, they did the whole Bret Hart, what was it, King of the Ring ending of the roll up, and then it goes back to the roll up, and she rolls up Ruby, and then wins the matchup that way. So, and then she tries to go extend the hand afterward, but then I was like, DMD wins. So, it's a nice belt. I enjoyed the pink belt more than the black belt.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Then she does a very heartfelt speech.
Martha Hart gave her a 20-minute speech.
Yeah, it was. She gave the ground. I thought the speech was nice, and I wasn't mad at the speech. I wasn't mad at anything like that. Also, and I was thank God they wasn't doing no heel storyline. I had nobody come out there and try to jump him. Just let Martha go out there and speak. And I think from the sound of it, it sounded like it's gonna be an annual thing.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be an annual thing that concludes at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
But I think next year is when they go with whoever.
Okay.
Like I don't think next year they rely on older. Like I think next year they take more of a risk of whoever wins. But I think that's just a first year thing, just in my opinion.
Okay.
Like their first champion is Chris Jericho when it could have been literally Hangman or anybody, but so I think that's just what they do there.
Yeah.
First.
Next matchup was a match that wasn't needed, and that was the 6-man or 6-person tag with America's Top Team with Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page.
Well, look, as long as you're talking about this match, I'm going to go on mute because I don't have no words for it.
I mean, you may, but I would say, but Paige Van Zant, who's having her in-ring debut, going up against Ty Conti, Sammy Guevara, and Frankie Kazarian. The problem with this matchup that I think a lot of people are overlooking is that there's only one face in this match, and that's Kazarian. But all the other things don't necessarily matter at all in this matchup, and this was just a thing just to get them all on the card because it was just nothing but 6-man stuff. It was more so what was Paige Van Zandt going to look like when she tags in. So she tags in and she goes after Ty Conti and everything, where she has like the Maleficent type of gear on. She's all right. She's solid and things like that. There is she does a couple tornado DTs to Sammy Guevara, and then she hits a Michinoku driver on on Ty Conti, which looks very close to falling on her head. And I'm just like, if I'm new, like very new, and I'm like this, I would not attempt to do a Michinoku driver.
That's really enough. That's probably one of the easiest moves to do when you first start.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
because it's basically a body slam. You just sit out. Basically, just sit out. Body slam.
Then Takahashi gets an offense in, and then they kind of had some back breaks so that it really looks a little bit sloppy. The match does break down, and then of course Kazarian gets his stuff in, and then there was a good spot. Scorpio Sky kind of like springboarding in, and Kazarian hits his cutter, but then Scorpio Sky hits it looked like the EC3 finisher move. You know, it's on your shoulders and turns into a cutter. And then now, so since they won, they cannot, Sammy or Kazarian cannot face Scorpio Sky for a championship as long as he's a champion. So, thank God that storyline is over. Next up is another match that was just added from Rampage, and that was Kyle O'Reilly taking on Darby Allin. Now, this match was just added. No heat behind it or anything like that, but for some reason, these two guys came out.
There's a little bit of heat because of what happened.
Because he took out Sting.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so he wanted to revenge Sting, his daddy. So, but these guys went out and said we're going to have a match like we're in the main event. And they had a good match. In that 10 minutes, they had a good match. Kyle O'Reilly starts off with a huge knee right to the face of Darby Allin, and then starts top of him giving like the palm strikes, gives a deadlift suplex to him. Darby comes back and hits a cold red on Kyle O'Reilly. It looks very nice. Gives a dragon sleeper, reverse DDT. Then he tries to go for his little bounce back thing in the ring, and Kyle catches him into a German suplex. Darby tries to he gives like a little whippersnapper. I refuse to call it a stunner to Kyle O'Reilly. He falls inside the ring through the bottom rope. I thought Kyle O'Reilly was gonna do his little catch him through the bottom rope and ricochet back in, but he doesn't. But then Darby tries to go and launch up through the bottom rope. But what happens was it looked like his foot or something catches the rope, and he does a cartwheel kick to Kyle O'Reilly instead. So I was like, all right, sure. The second time, Darby Allin tries to go through the ropes. Everything is cool. He dives through the ropes, but Kyle O'Reilly catches him in like a sleeper hold. That was dope. Hits a brain buster on him only for a 2 count. Then Kyle tries to start hitting him with the submissions and everything. But Darby Allin is a fighter. He goes and hits him with a sleeper hold, and then passes him out. Gives him a kick to the chest. Then goes up and gives him that diving knee to the back. And Kyle O'Reilly wins the matchup. I thought that was a really good showing by those two.
Yeah, they just kind of played it hard because they knew that they were losing the crowd because the crowd kind of just.
I thought the crowd was like they're finally getting tired. That the crowd got back up for a lot of things, but this one when you have a 13 match card, there's going to be some filler matches. That's just the way it's going to be. I know people may not want to hear that, but that's the truth. There's going to be some filler type matches. Next up, Thunder Rosa taking on Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. So here's my thing. This was unfortunately the only match I did not see on the show.
I think they were trying to win everybody back. I think they were almost doing it.
Yeah, the feed I had and the link I had didn't have this match on there. Help guide me through this matchup.
No, I think they were winning everybody back. Because when they first came out, people were just basically how they being treated, and with the promos and stuff, people just oh yeah, this is just gonna be a whatever match. But then the match was actually was getting good. It was getting into the swing of things, and then the crowd was getting into it, and then kind of just ended. But they was going out there to make it work.
Well, I definitely feel as though that when it comes to Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, them two are going to have great matches regardless because of who they are as wrestlers. Mm-hmm. I know the story build up to them was shit, but as them as wrestlers, I do believe once you get them in the ring, you give them time. They gave them 17 minutes, so they almost gave them 20 minutes.
Yeah, but there's no reason why Thunder Rosa is your champion, and since she's won the championship, she's been on TV, Rampage and Dynamite for a combined 30 minutes.
And that don't make no sense neither. I don't know why they're doing it to Thunder Rosa. Neither.
I don't know.
Cause once again, like I said, it's just the way that they've been booking their champions or booking their women's division as a whole. And yeah, Thunder Rosa only comes out for a short promo here. She has had no matches I remember on Dynamite or Rampage.
Yeah, and barely promo. So if you want to call them 2-minute segments promos, and she just coming out just to come out.
Yeah. Next up is, my God, don't expect me to go scene from this, because that is the Anarchy in the Arena match, which is the same thing as Stadium Stampede without the cinematic stuff.
Pretty much.
It's the Jericho Appreciation Society taking on the Blackpool Combat Club with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. So, first of all, they all the Jericho Appreciation Society all wore white, and I know in wrestling, if you're wearing white, it's so you can see the blood. Blood looks better on white.
Yep.
So, and then even Moxley and Eddie Kingston had white t-shirts on. Oh, and Bryan Danielson. So, and
I think that's just the Eddie. I mean, not Eddie. I think that's just a Jericho thing. Because every time Jericho's in these matches, in a big type of match with a group, they all match every single time.
yeah, I mean, it looked dope. This match goes all over the place. This is all over the arena. There's the different camera cuts going from back and forth, the different things of action of Eddie Kingston fighting. What was it? I forgot. The 2.0's names and stuff like that. And then of course,
Matt Menard.
Oh,
Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. That's their names.
Jericho is fighting Moxley, and then Bryan Danielson actually is fighting Bernard or something like that. And then they go back in the ring. There's Danny Garcia and them is fighting Santana Ortiz, and then there was I forgot about Jake Hager. So there,
I can see why you forgot about him.
Yeah, because it's fucking Jake Hager. There's two tables on the outside. I know this was dope. You have Ortiz at the bottom, like trying to powerbomb Jake Hager through the two tables, and then Santana jumps over with a blockbuster over the top rope while he's on the apron, and they give him a powerbomb blockbuster through the two tables. I thought that was a dope spot right there. Then we have just more mayhem. Like I said, I think it may be Dan Garcia spears somebody over the table. Moxley and Jericho fighting in the back, and then there's mustard that's involved. Jericho gets poured over with some mustard. Danny Garcia gives a pile driver to the turned over on the side staircase. Like how many? That is AEW spot. They love that turn the steel steps over on the side.
I mean, they just started doing it. Like I'm gonna say, out of all time, they probably have only done it 5 times.
Bro, but it's been known as their thing, because the first time I saw it was when Lance Archer gave that black hole to Adam Page on the
No, they did it before that.
Okay, so it's been more than 5 times then. Because
it's been 5
from
times.
Then,
it's been. I can tell you when Darby Allin did it to Jimmy Havoc and he missed. Jeff Hardy did it twice.
The stairs was flat. The stairs was flat on there. You talk about that Cracker Barrel thing?
No, the stairs was facing up.
The stairs was flat. I'm telling you, the stairs. How you can't crash onto a Cracker Barrel with a Cracker Barrel barrel behind you on a turn on the side steel steps. The stairs was flat. Go back and watch the clip.
All right. So, anyways, Hangman and Lance Archer, Darby Allin and Neville, he did a powerbomb on it. They were on the side because they were standing up on both ends. Well, they were standing up on the end of it. So that's like 5 or 6 all the time that I got, maybe 4. But they do it they've been doing it.
You just had one earlier with Jeff Hardy and Matt Jackson.
Yeah, I said Jeff Hardy twice. He made one and he missed one.
He made one and missed one.
Well,
like
Shaq.
Yeah, make one, miss one. Yeah, it just seemed like that's the spot that they go for. Jericho suplexes Moxley on the stairs. Danny Garcia and Eddie Kingston are in the backstage fighting. Jericho puts Moxley on in the walls of Jericho. They come back to the ring. By the way, the pinfalls, no matter what the fuck you do to your opponent, they can only finish in the ring. And then Moxley wasn't done. Moxley takes the top rope down off the ring and starts beating Jericho with like the turnbuckle iron and the turnbuckle. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Meanwhile, in the crowd, there's a ladder with Santana and Ortiz to dive off of it to 2.0 through the tables. And I'm just like, the fuck is going on? There's a barbed wire table that's now pulled out by Moxley, but Jericho hits it with the extinguisher. Hager finally gets back up, and it's now Moxley, Bryan, Hager, and Jericho in the ring, and they are just giving like elbows to the chest of these guys. Kingston's crazy ass is coming out, and he has like a gallon of gasoline. I'm just like, fuck is going on in this matchup? Moxie gets pushed off the apron to the barbed wire board table that does not break. That sucked ass. Kingston is trying to burn Jericho alive because he's a wizard. But he gives him the Judas effect and knocks him out, which leaves Jericho.
Well, he tries to. Brian has in. I think he has in like a submission, maybe the bell lock or something. And Kingston pours it on Brian Danielson and Jericho, and he's about to light it, and Danielson's like, "Bruh, are you trying to light me on fire?" And then he smacked the lighter at his head.
I was saying, yeah. And I was like, Kingston crazy. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, Kingston just said, if you said you're gonna put me in the ground, do you really know what that means? You know what Kingston from? He's from the hood. So, Danielson's fighting back against Hager, and Jericho gives a running knee to Hager, gives a running knee to Jericho with the whole with the kicks and everything. It's cool to see Danielson in this spot, but Jericho comes back, puts him in the walls of Jericho. Hager takes like the rope and the iron from the top rope and chokes it around Brian Danielson, kind of like, remember how Cena used to do it with Umaga back in that last match?
Or like Danielson did with Justin Roberts.
Oh, aren't you so? And then they beat him by technical submission. The Jericho Appreciation Society pick up the win. Woo! What a match that was, bro. Give me your thoughts.
And the match was crazy. The match was anarchy, like they said. But all of these type of matches are going to be crazy. And it's going to be more blood if Moxley's in it. So, that's what you got. But no, I like it. I'm still surprised Rigo didn't even do nothing. Like I would have thought Rigo would have hit the power of the punch so they can get them. But whatever. We can probably get that
after this. I really feel as though that at Double or Nothing, this is their tradition, where it's going to be like, since it's not Stadium Stampede, it'll be Anarchy in the Arena.
Well, I mean, it depends though, because they can still do Stadium Stampede or call it something else.
They did. Still be that.
Well, I'm saying, but depending on where they're at, they can still be that cinematic and live action match, depending on where they are. Like this one was all, this was all live. What I'm saying, depending on where they at or if they are, like they can say they like, I don't know, wherever the stadium at, and they close by a stadium and it's like next door. They can say, how about we just rent this stadium out for 30 minutes just to film this, and then we come into the arena and finish type of thing. I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know if they have that much creativity or money to do that, but that would be nice if they could.
You're right, they could. Now it's time for the triple threat match for the Tag Team Championships. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland taking on Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks taking on Jungle Express. Let me tell you how I did not think this match was going to go the way it did. And I'm not saying it's a bad match. It was a damn good matchup. A lot of big spots here. Swerve Strickland and Jungle Boy, tearing the house down. Jungle Boy dives to the outside, and then he gets caught by Keith Lee. Keith Lee gives him a powerbomb. Then he gives him a powerbomb on top of Luchasaurus. But once again, you still got Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks there looking good in the ring. They were my picks to win it.
Hold up, I just got something to say about this man, Ricky Starks.
Are you talking about when he walked the rope?
Yes. So look, I watched this after the fact because I was like,
yeah.
So probably by the time I got home, I was still out of time. I was like watching it while I was in my room, and I'm watching it, and he gets up on the ropes and he does like the I don't even know, the thrust or whatever. Or I think I get up my seat and cheer when he did.
It was great. He was doing the walk the rope, and he was doing something that he did like, had like the little Michael Jackson hand on the head and doing the thrust like.
Yes, he was like walking, and he was like thrusting and walking, and he pointed at somebody in the crowd and was like, "You come here," and then he did.
Yes. The Jungle Boy wasn't having it. He kicked him off the ropes and stuff. So that's something. I thought that was hilarious.
Not gonna lie though, if he do that, if he keep doing that, hey, Ricky Starks need to win the title right now. TNT title right now. We
he
need
said,
Ricky Stark and Scorpio Sky right now.
he said instantly better than the Undertaker. Instantly,
Yeah,
right?
man. I was an instant, bro. He was walking and doing like the doom, 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 doom. I was like, oh.
They was the boy bad. Who's
Yeah.
bad? He bad.
So yes, I was definitely excited when he did, especially with Will, because when he did it, I was like, oh, okay, he just gonna walk the rope. So now he did it. Will House like had his hands in like a camera,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah. So, yeah. Please let him do this more often.
Yeah, show the person down.
Not every week, by the way. Not every week. Probably just on
big
like
shows,
the
big shows.
The big name dynamites, and then the
pay-per-views. Yeah, I agree with you. Keith Lee holds Swerve's hand, and Swerve does a moonsault off his chest, kind of like how he did with Jackson Riker back in NXT. Back, I remember seeing that spot before. So
no, he did it with Swerve.
Well, yeah. So
Swerve is the only person I recall him doing this.
Yeah. So Will Hobbs is showing off his stuff, giving suplexes, belly to bellies off the top rope and everything, and so the match is breaking down. There's a double chokeslam between with Will Hobbs and Keith Lee going to Luchasaurus, and then of course they're all on the outside. We got to do the pile up spot. Here comes Keith Lee's big ass. At least he cleared it this time. He goes and hops over the top rope and dives down everybody. Luchasaurus is trying. I don't know what move he was trying to do to Keith Lee, but it looked like he got it the right way. He had him on his shoulders. Was he trying to do like a GTS or something like that? I'm not sure, but he obviously didn't get him like the right way. So Ricky starts trying to hit a spear on Jungle Boy, and then does a double underhook, bounce off the ropes, face first slam. It does not work, and then Swerve and Keith Lee do the double foot stop powerbomb, finish Jungle Boy, and the stuff is broken up, which leaves Swerve, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus in the ring by themselves. There was a part where didn't Christian save Jungle Boy from something?
I don't remember.
Okay, I thought there was a part. If anybody remembers out there who's listening, I can post it down because it's faded my memory. But Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy hit their finish on, I forgot what they call it, on Swerve, and they win the matchup. Not what I was expecting at all. I was definitely.
I think that was the wrong choice.
Say what?
I think that was the wrong choice.
I think it was too. I thought Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks were going to win it.
Especially after that.
I thought they was going to win it while Swerve and Lee chase it. And I thought that we was going to get the turn from Christian tonight, but I was just like, no. Some people were thinking that Luchasaurus is going to be the one that's going to turn.
He put him on his shoulders and everything, and I'm like, oh, he going to do the Batista thing where he was like, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
No, nothing. No,
they didn't do anything. So I was like, well, guess we got to save it for Dynamite. Then I hope you guys have been staying with us because this review has been long because so has the damn show. But now it's time to get into the main event. The main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk taking on Hangman Adam Page. Let's CM Punk versus Cowboy shit.
I honestly, since we already know the outcome, I would like to Live in Color would have did their thing.
You said you like to do what?
Live in Color would have did their thing.
Oh yeah. Wait, you said they would like they did their thing or what?
I would like if they would have like performed.
Oh, that would have been kind of cool too.
Even though because we already knew he was winning, this would have been nice to see, to see them there with his entrance.
It's probably on CP time. Punk does like a mirage of scoop slams in the ring, and then tries to go for a dive at the top, but Adam Page catches him and does a roll through. And there's a fall away slam. There's a kip up, and goes outside the ring on himself. Adam Page is showing that this is his ring. Basically, I thought it was really good showcase of how fast Adam Page was in a lot of these things. He even knocked CM Punk out the corner, tried to go for a buckshot lariat, but CM Punk takes him off the apron. But then he goes and tries to attack him on the outside, runs and gets a pop-up powerbomb to the apron. You know how great it is to see a pop-up powerbomb again?
Yep.
Because Kevin Owens has been just doing all these stunners. I'm just like, but just to see a pop-up powerbomb, shit, if Stone Cold took a pop-up powerbomb, that would have been crazy.
No, we know that wouldn't happen.
You said what?
We know that wouldn't happen.
That probably damn.
But then again, he took a suplex on concrete. So.
CM Punk does a superplex to Adam Page from the top rope.
I didn't like that.
You like the superplex?
No, I felt like it was rushed.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with that. There were certain moves I was like, okay, so where's the selling going to be at? Adam Page knocks CM Punk tries to go. He does a couple closeouts from the top rope, and then he tries to go top rope again. And Adam Page knocks him down, hits his beautiful moonsault, one of the best moonsaults in the business, opposed to Charlotte. And he tries to get it back in the ring, try to hit the GTS. However, it does not work for him. Because CM Punk reverses out of it and tries to go for a Texas Cloverleaf. I'm gonna tell you right now, Prime. Listen to me. CM Punk should stop trying to do the buckshot lariat.
Oh yeah, he missed it like 3 times.
And we even get to mention the review of how he botched the springboard going into the ring with FTR in that opening matchup with Dynamite.
You know what we forgot to talk about? We forgot to talk about the how many times that the sharpshooter was messed up.
Yeah, you absolutely right there. Or the night we celebrate Owen Hart. That's crazy.
Because Ruby probably had the worst one in the night. Punk had a bad one. Darby had a bad one.
Yeah, I was like, y'all, it's time to open back up that dungeon, y'all, because they don't know. Brett, you got to be the new guy for the dungeon. Stretch him out. Brett got to be one for the dungeon. But he needs to stop doing the buckshot lariat, and I'm mad Adam Page sat there and kind of like waited for him. He hit it.
One of them he did. One of them he like just was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Last ride from Adam Page, and then his other finishing move was it the buck out or I forgot what it's called. You know when he has you like where your face is by his butt, and he just comes down both knees.
Yeah, the dead eye.
Yeah, the dead eye. There you go. And then he does finally hit the GTS on CM Punk, and then when CM Punk kicks out of it, and he said, "Fuck that! I'm not going down to my move." Strong lariat in the ring, but then for some reason he can't hit the buckshot lariat. Then CM Punk finally catches. He hits the buck. He kind of hits the buckshot lariat, but there's no referee. The referee is down. So it looked like he was trying to hit. He's going to use the belt on CM Punk, and then that didn't work out in his favor. He gets into the GTS. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is your new AEW champion. He's he missed wrestling for 7 years again, and has come back, and now is a champion.
Yep. Our championship in 9 years.
Exactly. It's been that long, my God. So.
But really quick, since Dynamite has already happened, Punk is slated to fight Tanahashi, and unfortunately, it looks like Heyman is fighting Okada, which I'm not mad at, but I am disappointed.
They're really about to do Heyman and Okada?
Yeah, I guess they're like.
It's because of the fucking lariats.
No, I think they're defending belts. That's why.
Heyman ain't got no belt.
Okada does.
Look, I love Hangman. Don't get me wrong. Hangman was one of my favorites when AEW first started. Bryan Danielson needs to be the one. I'm sorry, go against Okada.
Knowing them, they might have Danielson go against. Oh my God! Why am I not thinking of his name? No, Naito.
Naito. Oh, well, that would be a good one also.
I mean, yeah, but no, we need to get Okada. Like, so what I'm thinking is because Tanahashi is like it's for the belt, it's for the AEW belt. Against Punk. So I'm assuming that Okada and Heyman will be for the belt too. I'm assuming.
All right, so that was Double or Nothing 2022. So give me your final rating for it. We don't have to go by letter grades. Thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs in the middle.
In the middle.
in the middle. I'm going to, for overall, still give it a thumbs up show. It wasn't the best AEW show because one, it was long, and one, there was a lot of matches that didn't need to be there. But when it came with that last string of matches from
all right. I'm gonna just ask, how many times are you gonna rewatch this show?
me,
Yes.
I'm probably going to watch it again because I want to watch it on like DVD because I'm a sucker. I buy the DVDs.
Okay.
So I'll probably watch it about once. Okay, to be honest with you. But let's be real. As fast as society moves today, how many times do people go back and watch recent pay-per-views? We go back and watch the older ones.
Well, for AEW, I do. Certain matches and all. Yeah, I do.
I mean, if they had like a network or someplace I can go see and watch them without paying for the DVD, they absolutely I'd go back and watch most of them. I'm still trying to get all out when CM Punk first came back.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but again, guys, that's our review. So post your comments down below. How do you guys feel about it? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed our review. Hit the subscribe button for more AEW content right here on NC Studios, and make sure you guys check out our Dynamite review of MJ, which was the Double Nothing Fallout. So I know that came up first, but make sure you guys go back and check that out. So once again, this is NC, a place to be chilling with Mr. Andy, and not Deion Sanders in prime time.
It's been real.
Okay, hey, and the Nerd Coalition is out.